Good evening and welcome in. This is the Right Wing, episode 4. I am fired up. I got an awesome show tonight. We're going to speak on manhood, and this is something I believe in. We don't have enough men in this society. Real men, I mean. And, this is going to speak to that, this episode will, and speak to what it truly means to be a man, biblically, religiously, as far as what this world deems as true manhood. Because what we got is a different view. We have a different view of manhood today than we did 60 years ago, and that's just a fact. And it needs to be discussed. It needs to be talked about. This is an important thing. It's destroying our society. The fact that we don't have real men anymore, it's destroying our society. We have to talk about it. As far as breaking news, I don't think I've seen anything today. I was scrolling through, looking, haven't seen anything crazy new. So this is it. This is the episode tonight. We're going to speak and we're going to go on with it. So I think the place to start off with is what is manhood. Let's speak about what is this thing that we're trying to define, that we're trying to speak on. To me, there's almost no better example of manhood than David from the Bible. Right? David was a king. He was anointed as a probably young teen, maybe even younger than that. He was a leader. He was a warrior. And he was a very emotional person. You read through his Psalms, you read through those things. David was emotional. He was not afraid to let his emotions out. And that's something that sets David apart. I think it's something good about being a man. And I had a pastor one time really speak on David and on manhood, and he kept coming back to this word meekness. Meekness. Now, meekness itself is typically used in our vocabulary almost synonymously with weakness, and this just isn't the case. Meekness is the ability to kill, the ability to be a freaking beast, but the ability to hold it back, to control it, to only use it when necessary. That's meekness. It's one of the best compliments you can get. If anyone's ever called you meek and they mean it in that way, man, what a compliment. It's one of the best I could possibly imagine getting. Because that's what it means to be a man. There's a really good book. It's titled The Warrior Poet Way. And it's by this I believe he was an Army Ranger, is what I think. I don't think he was a Navy SEAL. I think he was an Army Ranger. And he's a Christian. He turned into an evangelist, and he has 10 chapters in this book. It's not a long book, about being a man. And a lot of my ideals for being a man come from his representation of what he wrote down. It's a great book. I listened to it while I worked out. It was an audio book also. The Warrior Poet Way by John B. Lavelle, I think some people pronounce it, but it's a great book. Check it out. Check out the chapters, and if you like what I'm saying, you'll probably love what that book has to say. And he uses David several times as a reference. He kind of references David a lot of times without actually referencing him, which is a pretty cool thing. But yeah, I mean, David, I think we need to understand first and foremost that David is a warrior. David is a freaking beast. The king at the time before David was King Saul, who was known as a warrior. And they would sing, Saul has killed thousands while David has killed 10,000s. That's in the Bible. And this is while Saul is still king. So these people are basically saying there's a greater warrior than our king. And it kind of gives way to the fact that David will soon become king. And I mean, the point of this though is thinking this wasn't just a guy who just, was sitting around on his butt. This wasn't just a guy who just wrote poems all day long or played his harp. This is a guy who was probably jacked, and he was a soldier. He was a warrior. He killed, like they said, 10,000 people or more. He killed Goliath. This wasn't just some, scrawny little boy. This was a man. And you gotta comprehend that to understand the full story of David. He is not just a little scrawny, low testosterone, music playing person. And I think sometimes we like to put him in that category, like he's wearing like a toboggan, I think sometimes we put him in this category like a little musician or something in today's world, but this wasn't the case. First and foremost, he was a warrior. He earned respect that way. lots of respect. Right? He wanted to marry Saul's daughter, and Saul said, "Bring me back 100 foreskins." And David brought him 200 foreskins from the Philistine warriors. Like, this dude was a beast on the battlefield. But he was able to control it. He was able to only use it when he needed to. Even at times, when Saul was being hostile to David, David could have killed him, but he showed meekness. He held it back because that was the king at the time. Even though he knew he would be king, he knew it wasn't in God's plan to kill Saul. Multiple times he could have killed Saul. Multiple times Saul acted out in anger. And guess what? David, he just let it happen. He ran away. He hid. He did what he had to do to stay alive. But he never retaliated. And that's a really cool story that sums up a lot about David. And finally, David was emotional. He was in tune with his emotions. And this is okay as men. A lot of times we either get the warrior or we get the emotional one. It's rare we get both. Having both is okay. It's good. It's good to love your wife. It's good to have an emotional, personal connection to God. It's good to be emotional by the things that are going on, as long as you can separate emotional thinking and logical thinking. Emotions are okay. We all feel them. And David understood them. When David slept with Bathsheba and then killed Uriah, his friend, he went and he cried for 2 days in the temple out to God, crying, "Lord, what have I done? Forgive me." I mean, crying out to God. How many of us men do that? How many of us men set the example for our families by falling on our face at the altar? It's not a ton of us, I'm afraid. It's not a ton of us. And I think this manhood in marriage, we have to understand that we're supposed to be a strong leader. And being a strong leader often includes being strong enough to show your emotions. There's other things. We hear a lot, I'm a big believer in gender roles in marriage. I believe that carries over into politics as well. But when it comes to gender roles, and a lot of times you hear this, well, my woman won't submit to me. Are you a man worth submitting to? How much of a man are you? Do you love her the way Christ loved the church? That's some things to think about whenever you're talking about this. You want to be biblical and talk about submission. Well, are you a man worth submitting to? Are you a strong man? One that she knows can protect her. That's a trait you should be chasing after if you're not. How do you do that? Well, you should be in the gym. I'm a firm believer that there's not a person on earth who, given the opportunity, should not be working out 3 to 4 times a week minimum. You should be active. You should be ready to be able to pick up your wife, pick up your kids, and run if you had to save them. This isn't a well, you should just always be in shape or nothing like that, but this is important. If you want to be a man that's respected, you should have the ability right now to pick up your wife, pick up your kids, and take off running. Getting them out of harm's way if the need arose. You may think that's crazy, but that's the truth. Eat your protein. Limit your calories and go work out. Those aren't hard to do, right? Those are not hard things to do. And that leads me in. Where are the men today? Because they're severely limited. I mean, I think there's very few people that we can say, man, that's a great representation of what a man should be. All the way through. I think a lot of people showcase bits and pieces of what a man should be. They showcase maybe some strength. They showcase maybe some of the emotional side. Sometimes maybe even you get some that showcase, the ability to hold some strength back, meekness. But to display all three. How many men truly do that? Where are they at? Where are the high testosterone men at? When we get into testosterone, that's a whole discussion. We're going to go down later. But I'm going to tell you right now, we got too many men that all they want to do is wear skinny jeans, and they're worried about their $7 coffee they're going to be buying at the Starbucks. And I'm not saying that, having a coffee every now and then is bad, but what I'm saying is, where does your focus lie? Where does your focus lie in being a real man? Personally, I'm going to be honest, I don't like Starbucks. For $7, I can drink coffee for a month at home, right? And that's something I think about as a man. Financially, how am I going to support my family? Drinking a $7 coffee every morning isn't going to financially support my family very well. But it's more than that, typically, and it's a stereotype, and I understand that, and I'm speaking in generalizations, but if you're buying a $7 coffee at Starbucks with your skinny jeans and your flip-flops on, you're probably not your man's man. You're probably scrawny or overweight, one. You're probably not well-conditioned. You're probably not representing the values that people are thinking. And this is not speaking to everybody. I am sure that there is a man's man right now in a Starbucks drive-thru. I'm not speaking about exceptions. I'm speaking about the rule and what we see most of the time. This goes for everything, right? I'm picking on Starbucks. But where are all of our men at? And the real answer here, for really being honest, it lies in the fact that the government doesn't want real men. The government and the controlling factors of the government, which I believe is other countries, other individuals, they don't want us to be strong men. They don't want us to have high testosterone. Look at the testosterone levels in the past 50 years. The average 25-year-old right now has the testosterone level of like a 65-year-old 30 years ago. And that's the truth. They're falling dramatically. And there's several factors that fall into this, right? And you can just observe it, right? Go back and look at Tom Selleck. That's a freaking man, right? That's a high testosterone individual. Freaking big old stash on him, right? Great jawline. He's buff. That's a man. We don't have many of those type of people anymore, right? There's not many. But go look at pictures of people, of teenagers on the beach, spring break, whatever. They're jacked. They're in good shape. Most of them have thick mustaches, which is a sign of high testosterone. We don't have many men like this anymore. This testosterone, it looks like this for y'all. It's just dropping, right? What are some factors that go into this? First off, it's the food we eat. We eat crap. Eating McDonald's, eating Chick-fil-A, eating bull crap, man. It's terrible for you. It's awful. Bunch of seed oils, dehydration, drinking sodas and sugar all day long. It's awful. That's one major factor. I think the government controls a lot of that, right? It's kind of odd to me that the Food and Drug Administration is food and drugs together because they go hand in hand. If you can get people to eat bad food, you can prescribe them drugs to help those conditions. That's a whole nother rabbit trail that I'm not going to get into today. Other reasons, the pushing of birth control. Yeah, birth control in women. They've pushed birth control on women. When women urinate, it gets into public water. Those chemicals, those estrogenic chemicals, I think that's how you say that, those are going into the water supply that men then drink, which then lowers their testosterone. I 100% believe that. There's several factors that go into this. So many factors that go into this, and it's not okay. We should be pushing back harder on this. I mean, I think this is a really big issue. But the question then lies, why would the government and its controlling entities want lower testosterone men? A low testosterone man is a man that's easy to control, easy to navigate where he wants to. And this is proven. This is proven time and time again, right? Whenever a man has high testosterone, and I got this from a buddy of mine on a great conversation, so if he hears this, this goes towards him. But whenever a man who has high testosterone is in a situation such as politics, for instance, and he feels as if the majority is against him, against his idea. When he has high testosterone, he feels security in that because he believes that he can protect himself out in the wild. Well, this goes all the way back to like tribal type instinct. He believes he can protect himself He believes that he can still survive. He can protect his family. That's part of having high testosterone, and he will back his point. He will back his belief. He will back that idea, no matter what, no matter if it ostracizes him. A low testosterone man will just go with the flow. Go look at a House bill right now. No matter what it says, for the most part, if they got a little R next to their name that made the bill, all the other R's are going to vote yes on it. Same with the D's, Republican and Democrat. They're going to vote yes. They're going to go with the flow. I'm not saying, sometimes it's just a good idea. It's not every bill. But my point is, we go with the flow. And whenever you're a low testosterone man, if the government can influence you into the flow that they want you to, well, this is normal. It's normal to eat McDonald's every day. It's normal to drink 3 sodas a day and have a milkshake after dinner. It's normal to not work out. That's an extra thing. Those things aren't normal. Those things are required of you as a man. They're non-negotiables to not be eating crap and to be going to the gym, right? But they want to ease you into this little ebb and flow of what's normal. And unless you're going to push back, we're going to have an issue. And that's what high testosterone men do. That's what a real man does. They push back because you're supposed to be a warrior. You're supposed to believe you can survive. You can protect yourself and your family. That's such an important thing. And, when it comes to this idea, look at your everyday life. Are you feeling motivated? Do you wake up with energy? Are you carrying on a few extra pounds maybe you shouldn't be? Can you pick up your wife and kids and sprint to save their life if a dire situation arose? Are you ready and willing and prepared to fight physically for your family? We're coming to a point in time when these might be necessary things that we have to do to survive. Things are winding down in the notion of time, the idea of time, what we have on this earth. They're winding down. Things are coming to a close, and it's going to get bad. Are you prepared? Preparedness is important. Are you prepared for what may come? That's something I want you to think about. And if you're thinking, maybe I'm not prepared, maybe I am, lower on the testosterone levels, get it tested. Go get tested, see what you get. See where your levels are at. And don't compare them with what normal is today. Compare them with what normal was 50 years ago and see where you're at. Other things to consider, and this isn't, I'm not a salesperson. I take vitamin D3 every day, and I have a great friend out in Utah. He sells a wonderful supplement called a Vital Seed. It's got several vitamins and minerals in it, and it's wonderful. It's a great supplement. It's low cost. You take 3 pills a day, and it has pretty much every vitamin you need in it to help boost testosterone. It also boosts fertility while we're at it. It's a great supplement. I highly recommend it. Go check them out, and I'll try to make sure I tag them in the videos and such. But that's a great way of supplementing and trying to feel better, is supplementation. Finding motivation is another way. Go to the gym. I promise you, you wake up tomorrow at 5 in the morning and go to the gym and work your freaking tail off till you're drenched in sweat. You're going to feel motivated tomorrow. After you get off of work, you're not going to be tired. You eat good, you got a great workout in, you're going to be freaking pumped up. You're going to be fired up. You're going to be ready to go do something. You're going to be ready to go fight whatever's wrong with the world, whatever you find is wrong. Whether it's you agree with me or you agree with something else or you have this belief, you're going to be ready to go fight. I promise you'll feel that way. I promise. Go work out. Get into the habit of it. Wake up and work out. Go find a gym. These are ways to increase your testosterone, to feel better, and to be ready to fight. And this is your call. I'm giving you a call right now to be a man. Go be a freaking man. It's really not that hard. You're designed to do it. God designed you to do it. Whether or not you've fallen away from that, that's one thing. But God designed you to be a man. He designed you to be a high testosterone, high-performing man. Don't fall short of that. You have a calling to it. Each and every single man that's watching this is a calling to it. And don't even get me into this bull crap about transgenderism. I was born a man and now I'm a woman. No, you're not. You're a freaking man. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'll back that belief all day. I got my workout in this morning. I'm ready to back that belief all freaking day. You're a man. God made you that way. Be a man. A real man that's ready to fight, that's ready to protect, that's ready to stand up for what he believes in, that's ready to be the highest performing version of himself. That's how I want to end tonight, y'all. That's how I want to end. I hope y'all have a great night. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. And as always, I'll see y'all next time.